It's kind of a big deal for me. So sorry, I wasn't. I seriously.
Okay,
I've
let's
been
be honest.
practicing, so I
When
wouldn't
was the
feel
last time a morning show announcement really made you stop and think? Well, Hoda Kotb announcing she's leaving today, that's got everyone talking.
Okay, just cool. Be cool. Be cool. And I just turned 60, and I realized that it was time for me to turn the page at 60 and to try something new.
I had to dive into this one.
Absolutely. And I think what makes this so fascinating is that it's not the usual morning show drama. Hoda's leaving on top, which makes you wonder, what's the real story?
Right, and that's what we're here to figure out. Now, the articles all agree on the basics. Hoda's leaving in early 2025 after 17 years on Today.
A remarkable run, especially considering she and Savannah Guthrie made history as the first all-female anchor team. They really shifted the landscape of morning television.
They really did. And they seem to have a genuine bond. The articles were full of quotes from Savannah saying she can't imagine the show without Hoda, and Jenna Bush Hager, vowing to be on her doorstep. It's sweet, but also makes you wonder what Hoda's leaving behind.
It plays into that whole family image Today cultivates, which clearly resonates with viewers. But when you have a departure like this, so full of emotion, it raises the stakes. What's so compelling that she's willing to walk away?
Exactly. It's not like she was fired or there were rumors of a feud. Turning 60 this year seems to have been a turning point, but what does that really mean for someone like Hoda? What does success even look like after all this time at the top of your game?
It's a question many people grapple with, regardless of their profession. It's about reevaluating priorities at different stages in life.
And speaking of priorities, there's no escaping that Hoda's a mom, and the articles definitely highlighted her wanting more time with her daughters, especially after one had some health issues recently. That must have been terrifying for her.
Absolutely. It adds another layer to the narrative, doesn't it? This isn't just about a career move. It's about a mother's love and a desire for a more balanced life. It makes you question what we prioritize as a society and the pressures women in demanding careers face.
It really does. So we've got this intriguing mix of ambition, family, and a touch of mystery surrounding Hoda's future. Which, by the way, none of the articles really pin down. They say she's staying with NBC, but in a different role, talk about vague.
And that is what makes this a true deep dive. What does a new chapter even look like for someone like Hoda Kotb? That's what we'll explore next.
It's interesting, isn't it? When you achieve a certain level of success, the idea of a new chapter becomes even more intriguing. What could possibly top what you've already done?
Right. And that's what has me so curious about Hoda. We know she's ambitious, but also deeply values family. It's got me thinking maybe success at this stage isn't about climbing higher, but about designing a life that truly fits. Like, what does Hoda want her legacy to be?
That's a powerful question, and something we see more and more high-profile individuals grappling with. The traditional markers of success, fame, fortune aren't enough anymore? Okay, so let's put on our career strategist hats for a second. If we were advising Hoda, what would be the smartest move for someone with her strengths and this desire for something new?
The articles did mention a few possibilities.
He did. Some speculated about a return to long-form journalism, maybe something like Dateline, which she's done before.
I can see that. It plays to her journalistic roots, allows for deeper dives into topics, no pun intended, and potentially offers more control over her schedule.
Exactly. And it wouldn't be a complete departure from the Today audience's perception of her. She'd still be a trusted voice, just in a different format.
It would be fascinating to see her tackle more hard-hitting stories, though. She's often associated with warm, feel-good segments, but she's no stranger to tougher topics. Absolutely. Remember, this is someone who reported from war zones early in her career. She has a depth of experience that goes beyond the morning show smiles.
Okay, so long-form journalism is definitely on the table. What else?
Some articles threw out possibilities like writing a book, maybe a memoir, or diving into philanthropy.
See, those feel a bit more expected for someone in her position, don't they? Don't get me wrong, I'd devour a Hoda Kotb memoir, and she'd be amazing heading up a foundation.
But it lacks that element of surprise, right? We're looking for the unexpected twist in the Hoda Kotb story.
You read my mind. So what if she goes completely off script? What if this different role at NBC means producing or developing new shows?
Now that's interesting. It would be a way to stay within the NBC family but flex a whole new set of creative muscles. She could champion new voices, tell different kinds of stories,
and potentially have even more impact behind the scenes. She's spoken out before about increasing diversity in media, This could be her way to put those words into action in a big way. So we've tossed around a bunch of possibilities, but what's the common thread here?
I think it boils down to this. Hoda's not just leaving today, she's leaving a chapter.
And that's a powerful reminder that even when we're deeply rooted in something familiar, like a morning routine or even a beloved show, change is always on the horizon.
It's something we all experience, even if we don't always see it coming. Think about your own life, how much it's changed over the years.
You're right. And that's what makes Hoda's story so relatable. It's not just about a TV star. It's about a person making a big decision about what matters most.
It's about finding that sweet spot between ambition and personal priorities. And I think that's something many listeners can identify with.
So what does this all mean for you? Well, maybe it's a nudge to reflect on your own path. What are you striving for? How's your work-life balance? Maybe it's time to ask yourself, what if I could create a chapter that looks like this?
And that's what makes this whole Hoda Kotb situation so compelling. It's not just about a Today Show shakeup. It's about a woman who's making a statement about what's truly valuable.
You know, we're all in the business of telling stories. And sometimes the most compelling stories are the ones about change, growth, and the courage to rewrite the script.
So as Hoda embarks on her next adventure, let's consider our own. What are WE ready to create? What stories are WE ready to tell?
That's food for thought. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Hoda Kotb's story. See you next week, and until then, keep exploring those new chapters.